Yo, my man Shinchi has been reborn. He went through that Spider-Man type dilemma. He went through a Spider-Man development, yo. Oh my god. So basically how this episode of Parasite started out was basically after they were damaged, whatever, after Shinchi found that his mother became a parasite, which was the biggest plot twist, not really plot twist I've seen so far. And after Migi was like, Migi's gonna die, and the mother said, or the mother, whatever, that parasite form is saying, I know, your host is dead and so you're gonna die soon too. He's like, blood is flowing all over him. He was gonna die due to lack of blood because she stabbed him directly in the heart. So Migi had to go into his heart, get rid of it from, he had to go from his arm, right hand or right arm, all the way to his blood, and it was able like to his heart area. And he basically had to substitute his heart fluid back to repair his heart, had to repair his body and everything else. And he basically gave nutrients, his sugars, and everything else for the past like day or two. He was knocked out because Migi did say he was knocked out for a long time. Maybe he was knocked out for like a few days or so. I feel like he was knocked out for like maybe a week or so. But if he was knocked out for a week or so, everyone would be kind of curious and go to his house. But I think he was knocked out maybe for like a few days or so. I'm not really sure. Maybe they didn't say exactly how long was Shinchi knocked out for. How long was he recovering? Nobody actually knew that, he was recovering. He was at home. They assumed like he didn't go to school. He was absent. And also how Murren, whatever his like what's it called, the girl, whatever that Shinchi had a crush on, whatever, she was curious about everything else. So after Shinchi got repaired and everything else, Shinchi changed. So you went to that Spider-Man development. I mean that Peter Parker originally from Marvel, whatever, like after became Spider-Man, after the spider bit him, whatever, he couldn't wear his glasses. He had his sight back. Basically, he was wearing glasses. He had sight back, and so does Shinchi. Basically, he got his sight back. He doesn't need his glasses anymore. And in the manga, I heard that Shinchi doesn't really have glasses. They put glasses on him to show how he developed, and he developed so much. I love it. I was like that character, and I was saying like in such a squeaky voice, like that development though. Oh my god, I love it, yo. Shinchi died and was reborn as a badass. Reborn will be the title of this episode. Oh my, it was just so good, and I loved it all. So basically, Shinchi's father was still alive because I thought he died, but apparently he's alive and all well. And the doctors and everyone saying that you had a nightmare, you assumed you saw your wife got killed, but she's really alive and everything else. But I believe that he's saying that's a nightmare just to make sure he feels good about himself and his son doesn't overreact, because he doesn't know his son is also part of the being that basically killed his own wife and Shinchi's own mother. So it's a nightmare. But Shinchi knew the truth and everything else. He was crying because he knew he was right. He knew his mother or his wife, whatever, she died by murder. Her basically Shinchi's mom, the father's wife, got murdered. And it was like, oh my god. They also had to went to some hospital around the area. And also I want to know how Shinchi's mom, the parasite, whatever, the body host, got to Shinchi's house and everything else to kill his son. Did she ask the hotel people, where do I live? But that'd be kind of suspicious if we didn't know where he lived. Or maybe I don't think she asked Shinchi's dad because he fell in the ocean. I want to know how. Maybe they skipped something. Maybe they didn't really skip something. Maybe we're gonna find out in the future as well. And also towards the end of the episode, we saw Shinchi basically found the parasite, whatever. That wasn't a female. That was more of a male host. Maybe the parasite switched hosts. Maybe or maybe not. And overall, also how Migi also has a weakness now. He didn't have a weakness originally, now he does. So basically, he sleeps for 4 hours. I think he sleeps every 4 hours, and anything can wake him up. Anything, like his heart beating so fast, his breathing pattern being more abnormal. Anything can wake him up. Any of the slightest noise can wake him up, and he goes into more of a deep sleep. I was like, you sleep all the time, Shinji. I'm not Shinji. I mean, you sleep all the time, Migi, whatever. And he was like, I do sleep, but I go into more of a deeper sleep, since I believe since he's in his body trying to take care of everything, it must be exhausting to the point where he needs to go to sleep. So I guess Shinji needs to let him take his rest order and then fight. So if let's say an enemy came for 30 meters, he would not be able to detect it because he's in his deep sleep, deep pattern. So we don't know what's gonna happen. Overall, I just love this episode. This is one of the best episodes of Parasite. The last episode was emotional. This episode was badass. He was reborn, and I'm absolutely glad they're doing this. Madhouse, you are absolutely amazing with the uncensorship and the character development. You guys are really good. Maybe I'm hyping this show up too much. Now, this is where the story more rolls in, because for the past 6 episodes, you've been getting this whole introduction of the characters, to know who Migi is, to know what his speeches are, to obviously introduce like A's son who's died, obviously, and the teacher, whatever, or the teacher guy, the teacher girl, whatever, who I can't forget her name. I can't remember her name, honestly, but whatever. We introduce all the other characters, their motives, what they loved, who they like, wife, husband, and son, what I mean? So getting used to the fact that Shinchi himself is a parasite as well. Now we get to go to the real meat, the real story. We get to find out what some of the things in the opening is. You know, is Shinichi's mother involved? Is her parasite form, or whatever that parasite, Shinichi's mom, involved in more than she is? Could she be like, you know, a queen, a leader of the parasite group? Could she be the reason they're here? You know, this whole, like, you gotta think more abstractly. I'm trying to think more abstract, the possibilities. Maybe Shinichi's mom will eventually take some big form. She's trying to collect humans for an army, maybe an army of parasites the planet controlling. I don't know. I'm letting my inner 5-year-old, like, you know, come up with something right now. It's just, oh my, I just want to know what's gonna happen. Imagine an army of parasites. Wouldn't that be just amazing to see? Also Shinchi versus the world. Oh my god, it's been a Scott Pilgrim reference there, but it was just absolutely brilliant. I love this episode. Be sure to let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video if you did like what I had to say. You know, if you didn't like what I say, you always can comment below. You can share the video on Twitter if you do use Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Tumblr, whatever type of services you use, you can share it on there. My name is PlasmaRPG, and I'm done here. I'll see you guys later. Farewell.